am in so deep. I am in so damn deep. I bought all of this video equipment thinking it would be easy to make YouTube videos and talk into a camera. I honestly fumble with my sentences like like even there. What was I gonna say? I walk into a sentence before I know how it's gonna complete. I'm like, here I am. Now what do I do? And I'm like constantly trying to think on the fly with my own sentences, which is not a very good place to be when you're trying to film a video. But yeah. Oh man, I wanted to do this content creation thing because I don't know. I thought it would maybe offset, like maybe I'd bring in some money here on YouTube, like even a couple thousand views, net me some profit to funnel into my Pokemon addiction. I don't know about that. I think I'm probably gonna have about 12 views on this video. So yeah, it's a little bit more difficult than it looks to just talk into a camera. I don't know what kind of person you have to be. I have I literally have an office in an apartment and I'm all alone and it's still difficult, right? Like let alone like I've tried filming like in public. Oh, it's fucking bad, man. It's real bad. You need like I feel like maybe you just need to be what's the word, like a narcissist or something in order to do it. I don't know what you have to be. Shameless? I don't know. I don't know. But I do like I have this camera here. So I have too many cameras. I'm filming this on my phone, but I bought these 360 cameras and I was like, yeah, that'll help, like as long as I don't have to reframe. But check it out. Like I guess I've got it here, but it's got like a stitch line in the top, so it makes everything look like I'm a fucking gremlin. Huh? You want to see my Pokemon cards, huh? That's a, that's how I imagine my brother sees me at uh, at Christmas dinner or Thanksgiving whenever I talk about Pokemon. It's just like, hey, dude, I'm gonna be rich, right? Just this unrelenting dork who can't. I have nothing else to talk about this because this is all I do. You know what I'm saying? Oh my god. Um, what else? So it's been a long time coming. In 2019, I pawned off a lot of my Pokemon cards. And I didn't do it because of any good reason. I did it because I was impatient and I didn't want to wait for the next paycheck. So I like, oh man, it feels like I just stabbed like my younger self, like just such a like no compassion. I didn't treat it with any type of respect. Like, that was old me. Like I didn't like. I used to love Pokemon. I used to love Pokemon cards. I used to, that used to be my weekends going to the Pokemon card shop and playing and getting smoked. I was the worst Pokemon card player in the world. I remember this guy. He had a nickname. His name was Little Bill. I have no idea why. But, anyways, I beat Little Bill one time because he couldn't draw a Pokemon card. And I just had a Charmander out and he was just scratching. He was just doing 10 damage at a time each turn. And this kid, draw after draw, couldn't get another Pokemon. He was just like completely bricked by his own deck. And yeah, I beat Little Bill. He was pissed. I don't I guess losing to like the absolute noob is one of the worst things that can happen if you're good at the thing. But yeah. So it was like this very nostalgic memory for me, Pokemon. And for me to just kind of, oh, just like, sell it. I need the money. I need to fucking gamble, huh? I need to gamble. It is what it is. And I guess, to be honest, I paid the price for it because, I sold in 2019 and then COVID hit and Pokemon exploded. It was Pokemon Mania all over again. Everyone was getting back into collecting the cards, and there was so much YouTube content out there that, I just couldn't watch. I physically cringed every time saw a Pokemon video. And I know that sounds a little bit funny to you guys, and you guys, this guy's a pussy. I am. I am. Don't get me wrong. But there was something about it. I just like, I felt like I had like I don't know. I sold off my Pokemon cards. I wasn't invited to the party anymore. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to see anybody enjoying it. Felt like I sold my Pokemon cards to the world, and they were like, "This is the best thing we've ever had." You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, "Give me those fuckers back. I want them back." Oh, and it's not even. Yeah, it's not even about the money, which is I probably, you know, if I just waited, I probably would have made a lot more money. But I think the amount I sold it for was probably about $600 all in, which was just like an absolute such a low ball price. I was just looking to get rid of it so quick. I don't know. I don't know. But anyways, fast forward to 2023. My mom ended up finding more of my Pokemon collection. And it was always in the back of my mind, like, I was more of a degenerate than this as a kid. I used to have thousands of these things. And I remember pawning it off and thinking, there's got to be more juice in here somewhere, right? I'm so thankful I didn't find, the rest of the nest egg back then. So, so I could have it in 2023. And when my mom found the rest of the collection, it kind of like it was my ticket back in, and suddenly like I was invited to the party. I was invited to the dance, and I can kind of re-enjoy Pokemon. I didn't fuck up, you know. I didn't completely screw myself out of enjoying, you know, what everybody else was enjoying. I took a good survey of like my old collection, and I labeled them. I took care of them. I put them in these duotangs, and all of this is by design, by the way. Like I had looked at hundreds of binder options, not hundreds, but I looked at all the binder options, and I was like I want to do this buy set. There's only 16 cards here. I don't want a full binder, but I want to keep the sets separate. You know, I want to keep the sets nice and separate. So I did these duo tags, and I don't know if it looks cheap or whatever, but it's kind of fun, you know? Like I can see and admire the cards with the things closed. Guys, this is great. You guys got I can label it. I can label each of the things. These are childhood cards. I truly am just showing you my Pokemon cards right now. But this is sweet. I was so jazzed, man. And I had some slots to fill in, like this Clefairy or uh, this Nidoking. There were a couple slots that I had missed from base set, and maybe I had pawned them off earlier, but it gave me kind of like an adventure, you know. And I used to pick card shops that were like 2 3 hours away, like biking, and I'd bike all the way to the card shop, and then I'd reward myself with a card. And it was manageable because these cards still are only like 50 to $100, and like non-graded copies. And I guess we'll kind of get to graded cards later, but these are the cards I wanted, and they were kind of affordable, and it was like a great entry point back into the hobby. And since I had skipped out on all of that content from 2020 to 2023, I was just like watching PokeRev on YouTube on repeat, like just loops of it, like watching them box break old boxes and stuff. And all I cared about was really vintage. I didn't really venture into the latest and greatest Pokemon cards. I was like, these ones are the ones that are cool. I remember showing my parents. I was like, because I had bought a PSA 10 Charizard from a modern set. Because I started playing the game online, and that Charizard card is just like, I was like, this is ridiculous. This card's so fucking powerful. It's like, it makes, I don't know, everyone was just using it and beating the shit out of me. So like I was like, people are gonna like this card later. It's way too strong. Little did I realize that I think a lot of people in the hobby don't even play the TCG. I think like you just collect the cards based on their art. Um, but yeah, that card was pretty strong. So I picked it up because it was a Charizard, and I'm a Charizard simp. Um, and yeah, I showed my mom. I was like, "What do you guys think is cooler?" And I showed him a vintage card, or I showed him the Charizard. And it was like, I think the Obsidian Flames Charizard, um, which is kind of like a crazy looking design for a Pokemon card. And they were like, "Oh, that doesn't even look like a Pokemon card. The vintage one for sure." And yeah, and I agreed. And for the longest time, all I did was kind of bike to these shops and collect my vintage Pokemons. And I actually remember this card right here. This was a great time. I went to Van City Pokemon in Vancouver. I was out in BC traveling, and it's cool, man. Like if you're traveling, you can kind of go to like the Pokemon shops there. This one was such a cool shop. Um, I guess like I had been there last year as well, but they had changed locations. When I went this first time, it was in kind of like this weird mall that like it was kind of like hard to even get to. Um, it was like a kind of like a Chinese mall or something. I'm not really sure if that's uh, you know PC to like it was a mall with a bunch of Chinese shops that had a bunch of Chinese lettering like all over. And then they had this Van City Pokemon card store, and it was just like this small shop, and it was only open from I think like noon to 3 or noon to 4. And I would go there every single day on my vacation and just go and kind of look at it. Um, and it was really fun. And I remember like eyeing the cards and looking at this Venusaur in particular. Um, and I was like, oh man, I need that card, right? And I bought it, and it was 150 bucks, and I think that was the most I had spent in my re-entry into Pokemon. But it kind of like opened the floodgates a little bit, and that shop was so cool. Like I like the original shop better than I like the newer updated one. If anyone's from Vancouver and knows what I'm talking about, it was a lot more like humble beginnings and stuff. And it just had a vibe about it. Like they were playing the Pokemart music in it, and it was just like one person there. Like I don't know, it was just like so cool, man. Um, and I was just watching PokeRap kind of on repeat, walking around Vancouver, exploring the different card shops. This one was the best of all the ones that I